Today, I'm getting the Platinum Trophy in the 2023 game Assassin Creed Mirage. Mirage is rated a 3 out of 10 difficulty and average taking about 25 hours. I did it in 34 hours. We begin our journey in Anbar, where we are introduced to Basim and his close friend Neil. I don't know, Nihao? No, that's not. Nihal. I'm going to say Nihal in this video. I don't know if that's correct. I'm very sorry if I'm offending anybody, but all names in this video are probably going to be pronounced so wrong, and I'm sorry. I just apparently can't comprehend any other word than probably. So, the beginning segments shows us the life that Basim and Nihal, I'm going to say Nihal, live as they commit petty crimes for a living. The game also introduces us to the pickpocketing feature, which will need to get the trophy for pickpocketing 50 people. We also get introduced to the stealth mechanics, which is a staple for all Assassin Creed games. I mean, if you're Assassin, you're going to be in stealth. I mean, that's just a given. After learning the basics of the game, we had one of the most memorable and one of my favourite missions in the whole game, and this is the infiltration of Calip's Winter Palace. We had to sneak in with Nihal into the palace to steal an artifact that's locked in the chest deep inside the palace. During the mission, we get met with a shocking twist, as in the middle of a very intense scene where Basim is in danger, fighting with I'm just going to say Calip. I'm so sorry. Nihal then kills him because Basim is about on the verge of probably being killed himself, so
I think that most people in the world will find you disappointing.
Nihao? Is it Nihao? I'm going to say Nihao. I don't think that's correct. And then the whole of Vanguard is then set into disarray. Because of this, Basim then goes join the Hidden Ones. Because Nihao and Basim have a big disagreement. Basim says whatever Nihao did wrong, which was assassinating the Calip, is very wrong. And so then they part ways, never to be seen again. And then once Basim arrives at Almut with the fellow assassins, he then has to go through training, which introduces the climbing and the combat feature. And the combat feature is introduced with us then dueling our mentor. And she doesn't hold back, I'll say that for sure. We're introduced to the parrying mechanics, blocking, dodging, perfect dodge, perfect parry, all that lovely stuff that you get in basically every game these days. After going through all of that combat training, the climbing training, we officially join the Hidden Ones. And so, we get a trophy for joining the Hidden Ones. With this, we're then set on to our main mission as a fully fledged member of the Hidden Ones, which I'm saying Hidden Ones quite often. As we then set off on our new journey for our first mission, we are introduced to how our mission is going to take place. So we are here to take down the Order, and in doing so, we have to go to different districts around the whole of the city of Baghdad to take down these orders the members of the orders that have gone up in power, and now they sit right at the top of the power for each different kind of thing in each district. So one will be in charge of like human trafficking, the other money, and the other, you understand the whole thing. And so we are then introduced to how we're going to go about getting intel for these investigations to eventually take down each order member, which then shows us just, in my opinion, just how repetitive this can become eventually. The way that we are going to be able to get intel for all these investigations is going through infiltrating strongholds, doing little things for people to hopefully get to the point where they will give us intel about a certain place where someone will be hiding out, which might be able to lead us to a order member. Just all the kind of jazz that you normally find in any game where we need to find out who this is, so we've got to do this, and this to get to that point. But the first order member was in Hari Biaha. I don't think that's how you say it, but that's how I'm saying it. and the Order member was terrorising the locals. So, of course, we were tasked with finding out information about the wrongdoings of the Order member, as normal as that can be. As I was going through the investigation, going through strongholds and gathering intel and all that lovely stuff, I managed to get the trophy called Poster Boy, which is becoming anonymous once again when being maximum minority by tearing down posters of myself. When getting to the last mission of the investigation, it was the mission to finally assassinate Al Ghul, and when doing so, we got the trophy for doing just that, eliminating him, which I kind of eliminated in front of everybody, but talking about assassination, but definitely assassination, I'll say that for sure. Once Al Ghul was assassinated, we then moved our attention over to Karak, where we actually popped a bunch of trophies. The first one was actually unmissable, according to the guide, but I don't believe so, as I find it was the only way to take down anyone with a key or mysterious shard. But this trophy was called You Snooze, You Lose, which was pickpocketing a guard affected by a blow dart. The next one was a true hidden one, which was for assassinating 10 guards in a row without being detected. I did this by accident, to be honest. I was just in the zone, going through strongholds for the investigation, just assassinating people left, right and centre. Shortly after, I got the trophy Crossing Paths for completing the Tale of Baghdad, which is a very small side quest. It was just a side quest where I was helping. This kid was a big fan of the hidden ones, and so he wanted to do an eagle jump. So I showed him how to do it, and then he did it. Thought he died for a second, but no, he's alive. He's still breathing. Now the final trophy I got through this amount of trophies that I was popping left, right, and centre for when going through all these investigations was the potion collector, which was just for 10 in 10 elixirs, which you get from chests scattered around camps, and you can buy them. I'm pretty sure that might count. I don't think I brought them. I don't think I knew how to at that point, but I was just going around getting them from chests and that. Elixirs are just how you restore your health if you weren't to know. Now, as I was popping all these trophies, I was also completing the investigation for the Kark Order member, and so eventually it led us to the final mission, which I did really enjoy, as we had to go to a market and try to identify the Order member by bidding or stealing a hair clip, which, to be fair, it was a nice looking hair clip, so fair enough. I don't know. When she was revealed and was talking, I followed just assassinated her, which then led us to the trophy for that exact thing. Like, she was generally just mid-sentence, and I just went, she was dead. This then led us to the next Order member, and if you're already asleep, I don't blame you, because we had to do the same thing again. Get information, infiltrate strongholds. But as I was going through that slog of an investigation, I did manage to get some trophies. The first one was just for using benches to pass the time 5 times. The next was just putting 10 guards to sleep with a blow dart, and in all fairness, the blow dart was probably my favourite tool. I was just going through the game when I noticed an opportunity to get the Notorious trophy, which was just for staying at maximum notoriety for 10 minutes, which was a long 10 minutes, as it was just doing parkour around, avoiding the streets and guards, but eventually I did, and I got the trophy. And literally 3 minutes later, I got the trophy for assassinating 10 guards from hiding spots. But now it is that time again when it was time to assassinate the next Order member, which was the same as all the others, so here's the trophy. Now finally we move out of Kark and move into Abi Hoshia, which I don't know how you pronounce that for the life of me. Well, yet again, we need to assassinate the next Order member, which was also the last one before the leader. And so I did that. The same as the other 3 previous investigations, and while doing so, I got 2 more trophies, which was just to open a token chest, and after many hours of pickpocketing to people, we finally got the trophy for pickpocketing 50 people. And with all that out the way, it was that time again to assassinate another Order member, so here's a trophy for that. We then moved to the last investigation, and this was the leader of the Order, which at the point I just wanted to be done. Investigation didn't do anything to really change my opinion, before I got to the assassination, I once again got more trophies. So quick fire round.
Perfect the balance.
Oh. Obtain both. Oh. Reach the maximum. After all that, we were not at the final mission, and to be fair, I was shocked to find out we had met the leader prior when investigating the Order member at the market. But even when learning that, I was still just fighting the boredom and just wanted to be done. Before killing Ida, she was talking about how Basim was important, and if we follow her to a temple, it would tell us more about ourselves. But before a decision could be made, Roshan, our mentor, came in and killed her, and forbid us from going to that temple. But that gave us a trophy for assassinating the head of the Order and put us into the endgame, where we met back with Nahal and travelled to Edmut to reach the temple the head of the Order was talking about. When we reached there, we realised that it's under attack, so we had to sneak around and help free one of our friends. And that done, we reached the temple and get followed by Roshan, which meant that we had to duel her, where we of course win, and in doing so made us reach the inside of the temple where all our answers were given to us. And the only tag I have was that Nihal wasn't real but instead Basim, which messed with my head. I'm sure if I knew more about the Assassin Creed lore I would have more of a take, but no. But nonetheless, I got the trophy for discovering Basim's past. With now, thankfully, the story being done, which I kind of liked, but most of the time it was just the same thing over and over again. So I'm sorry if that does offend any people, but that's just my opinion. I will state that is my opinion. The game is probably better when you know a lot more about Assassin's Creed, but I don't. It's my first Assassin's Creed game. So hold fire, please. But I took a 3-day break. I came back and decided to get any remaining viewpoints I have left to sync up, as it would make it easier to get all the collectibles. And I think I only had like 4 viewpoints left to get, so I just went around the map. The one didn't show up, so I had to go and search where the hell that one was, which was somewhere random. But we got the trophy for it. I was just going through contracts as I needed to do 10 for a trophy, but I was going through them. I got 3 trophies. One was for getting 20 headshots with the throwing knife, and the next was defeating Shari, and that's definitely not how you pronounce that. Oh, I'm so sorry. But we had to defeat him in combat, which I never ended up doing. In fact, I was running away from him, but the trophy popped, and the next was just tagging 100 guards with MDQ, which is the eagle you get, which is a mixed reception, I feel like, with these newer Assassin Creeds. Like, the opinion is a bit mixed on them. Some people love it, some people hate it. Me personally, I did find myself using it a lot. Would it be probably stealthier if I didn't? Like, if it wasn't in the game? Most likely. So I can see both sides. I'm not fussed per se, because sometimes I would use it, sometimes I completely forgot I had him and just go in there and just use the ability where you can like see, they come up in red on your screen if there's one nearby or something. But yeah. And after all that happened, I finally got the trophy for doing the 10 contracts. I was hoping doing all those contracts might give me all the dirhams I needed to get 2007 for a trophy, but in fact it didn't. So I went to a merchant and found out that I could sell all the trinkets I had from pickpocketing people earlier on in the game. And once I did, I got the trophy for getting 2007 dirhams. Don't know why exactly it's 2007, maybe there's something I'm missing here. Let me know in the comments if that's the case. I then straight away spent some of those dirhams on fully upgrading an outfit, which got a trophy for doing so. I then straight away got another trophy for, with my newly upgraded outfit, I applied a dye to it, which obtained me a trophy. With all these trophies popping left, right and centre, I decided to go around each district getting all the collectibles. It took me about an hour for each district to get all the collectibles. And here are all the trophies I got on the way to getting all the collectibles, which, with all these
I found this strange book.
Collectibles gotten, I then realised I still had some combat trophies left to get with most of the tools. So I went around one single area terrorising the locals and all the guards till I got all the remaining trophies, which here they are. I then just went through the trophy list getting any trophies I could till I reached the gifted escapist trophy.
Might we play for your pleasure?
I need you to draw their eyes.
For this trophy, I had to fast travel and walk to the same place of scaffolding 20 times, which generally just took me 21 minutes, but after that long drag, I got it done. Not long after, I got the trophy for assassinating 10 guards while blending into the crowd, and by not long after, I mean during like a minute and a half, because I legit got it around the corner, because I was doing it like in between each trophy, whenever I saw the opportunity to. So I generally got it a minute and like a half after getting the scaffolding one done. And once that trophy popped, I had 2 trophies left, and I thought I had locked myself out of these trophies, but luckily enough I hadn't. These 2 trophies were tools of the trade and self-improvement. I had to do an hour of more contracts to be able to get enough skill points and components to fully upgrade each tool, but going through that slow hour of just travel here, do this, go back and do it all over again for an hour, I finally had everything I needed to get these last 2 trophies. Which then gave us that platinum trophy. But as my first Assassin's Creed, I would say it was okay. It got very repetitive, but I'm willing to play any game. So put in the comments whether it's Assassin's Creed game or just any game you want me to see platinum. I have been keeping an eye on my comments, and I have seen someone request a game, and I may or may not be working on it. If you haven't made it to the end of this video, hopefully I've earned enough trust to be able to get a like, and if you're new, maybe even a subscribe, because I enjoy making these videos. I've been getting platinum trophies for like 3 and 8 years now, so I thought maybe I'd start making videos on it, and here I am on my second actual platinum video trophy, working on a couple more. I'm trying to still find my footing here. I know my editing isn't great, scripting probably could do a lot better, but I'll get there eventually. Just have trust in me. I am trying to distinguish myself, try and maybe do platinum trophies maybe that no one's seen before. I've already kind of done some, but I'm working out. I'm trying to make the way. But yeah, finally got that platinum trophy in Assassin Creed Mirage. When I eventually play more Assassin's Creeds, I'll eventually probably rank them, and that can maybe help people have a visual scope of how I see each game. But right now there's no point doing that when I've only played the one. But keep an eye out. Also, announcements. I have recently, while I was making this video, gotten a PS3, which opens the gates for a lot more different kind of games that I can play. So honestly, if there's a game, any game, drop them in the comments below, because I can play any game from PS3 to PS5 right now. I've got it all set up. PS3 is all working. I've got it all set up on OBS, all this and this. So don't worry about me. Put any game you want in the comments and I'll give it a whirl. And if we can hopefully reach 30 subscribers by the end of this year, massive thank you. And maybe I'll do a little special. Who knows? But thank you. I'll see you in the next one.